Hey, good evening and welcome people to Meet Meenamma. And Meenamma is here with a brand new episode of the event Mavericks. Today we have a powerful episode. Let's take you right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here. Welcome to the grand finale of season 1 of the event Mavericks Special. Today we are thrilled to bring you our final guest on the show, someone whose name has become a beacon of innovation and excellence in our industry. Meet the powerful Deepak Pawar. As the founder and director of Midas, Deepak has masterfully redefined the landscape of experiential event management. Under his visionary leadership, Midas has orchestrated unforgettable experiences, including the iconic Abida Parveen-Atif Aslam concert in Dubai. And this historic event, where these legendary artists shared the stage for the first time, captivated audiences worldwide and earned Midas an astounding 49 industry awards. But wait, there's even more. Deepak is not just the maestro of events. He's also the driving force behind Streamy Tech Pvt Limited and Streamy Studio, where he harnesses the cutting-edge technology to revolutionize corporate events and virtual broadcastings. In addition, he is the visionary founder and director of ICY, a premium club in Dubai, and an esteemed member of the Event and Entertainment Management Association, EEMA. Deepak's journey exemplifies the power of dedication, creativity, and relentless innovation. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have an extraordinary opportunity to dive deep into Deepak's inspiring story. We will now explore how he navigated the industry's toughest challenges, propelled his company to unprecedented heights, and continuously pushed the boundaries of what was possible for him. His story is not just one of remarkable professional success, but also of unwavering commitment to excellence and the relentless pursuit of groundbreaking solutions. Strap up. I invite you all to join us for this exhilarating and inspiring conversation with a dear friend, Deepak. Whether you're an aspiring entrepreneur, a tech enthusiast, or someone who loves an incredible success story, this episode promises to leave you enlightened and motivated and changed forever. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the studio with a roaring welcome. This is Deepak Pawar. And before we begin, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell icon to stay updated with our latest episodes. How cheap of me, but here is Deepak Pawar. Hi, Deepak. How are you doing?
Good evening, Meenakshi. Good evening. I think this is like a lengthy introduction. Nobody has ever said so much for me ever. That's so sweet of you. Thank you. Thank you for
Deepak, sometimes, we strive so hard to create niches for ourselves, and then we forget who we are. And then when we look back, we realize there's so much behind us and there's so much ahead of us. But before we go into the story of what was behind you and what is ahead for all of us, Deepak, who are you? Where were you born? What was your child look like? And how did events come to you?
Okay. Born 1969, that's the early age, Pandharpur, a place in Sholapur. It's a pilgrimage, and was born there to simple parents, but dad got into defense and mom was a teacher. So both of them were moving around, moved to multiple places like Andaman, Nicobar, Port Blair, to Bhutan, to, all the war zones, whichever were there, along with parents, and then those central schools, and those taught some different life out there. And moving from there to coming into your Ferguson. Basically, I was in Rajasthan where I did my pharmacy. Pharmacist. So I started, in fact, as a pharmacist. I came back to Ferguson College, finished my BSc. While I was doing my BSc, I joined Ranbaxy as a medical representative. And
wow.
So that's a very, so I was completely on the medical side. In fact, I launched a couple of big brands then called, Rantac and Histax and, all those Conv flags.
So that was the time. Okay.
So,
Okay.
and I was in medicine as this. My interests were also those. But then during that period, 89, when I joined, while I was working with Ranbaxy, I joined Ferguson College, Pune, to
Mm.
complete my BSc. So while I was doing BSc, we did a festival called InSync. Started a festival there called
Mm.
InSync. Now that's something which actually that organizing that festival, as as college students, what you do, and the kind of in professionalism that came in out there. As I joined, means I was a part of rock band Agni, if you know of that period.
Oh my
And
God, don't tell me. I love that band.
so Pune, Agni, then there was another Waterfront as a band. So I got more onto the rock segment, and that's the time when, if you remember, the means we did the first event, which was in 1992, called Rock Fiesta 92, and it
Hmm.
was card, called Midas, which was for discounts. So we used to give, and along with those discounts, we used to give concerts like that. We should give some entertainment. So my flavor was, my this was to go towards entertainment. I think the Rock Fiesta that we did had Nemesis Avenue as a band then. And I
Wow.
don't know whether you know what Nemesis Avenue as a brand is. In
Yes,
fact,
I do.
I remember picking up that time in way back, picking up A.R. Rahman. After that, Rosa came in and stuff like that. So he was on the keyboard then. So that
Yes.
those were the days, concerts and ticketed concerts. So then on, we kept on doing Rock Machines, that Indiscreet, then later on, and a lot of concerts in Bangalore, because I moved to Bangalore. Bangalore's where we started that card again. And my earlier partner was Cherish Tota's brother, Suresh Tota.
Oh,
So
okay.
so Bangalore, and along with him, but then he quit later because he wanted to do something else. And from there, the entertainment part started, because then sponsors came in. So we started doing a lot of concerts in that period. So while doing the concerts, we got closer to Godfrey Phillips as brands, and Titan, and those brands started doing shows along with us, events along with us. So
So, Midas, the man with the golden touch. So, this it's a beautiful name because you actually have the power. And when I say power, I say power. So, you actually have the power to continue and you touch things and make them into gold. So, from a rock band, now first and foremost, from a pharmacist to a rock band to Bangalore, and then this has been a beautiful journey. And then when was Midas born? I mean, when was professionally your journey starting as an event manager, a registered event management manager, and what was the inspiration that you had to call your company Midas?
I think Midas was that time. Midas touched that card, to be honest with you. Okay, so it wasn't as an events were done for that card as a member card, giving privileges. So those
Uh-huh.
events, and while doing those events started becoming so interesting, and as such, I had that thing. And that time, event management was never a very a set kind of
Defined. Yes.
defined kind of an thing. So, but then excitement was of doing events. So, what events we started doing, organizing concerts, what we today call as IPs or festivals or things of those sort. So, if you look at it, the kind of events that we have done, because that time I remember there was another company called Encore there. So, for me,
Yes.
for me, they used to be the ideals, or DNA for that matter. DNA had come little later after that.
Later.
So
Yes.
we started organizing. Like, I had the best nightclub there in called Lee Dance Furnace, if you remember, in Bangalore.
Mm-mm.
It was a 4-acre brick factory converted into a discotheque. So
Yes.
this, and
Yes.
every week we had, that is where Akbar Samis to Clements to, in fact, most of them have performed there. The earlier Ivan, and so the
Ivan, of course, Ivan and his turntables. Yeah.
so I
Mhm.
think that was one era. Concerts was one era. Sports, another stuff which we started out there itself, which was bungee jumping that I got into, and tied up with AJ Hackett. and got bungee in India. So things of those sorts. A lot of stuff in Bangalore. I think we did too much in Bangalore at that period.
Yes, yes. I think the temple city was agog with so much happening. I still remember when you bring up the name of Nemesis and A.R. Rahman's first avatar as a rock band. I still remember Christie on the guitar. I mean, they were treats to
Yeah.
watch, and it was pure music. It was for the thrill of touching the soul with music. And then, of course, in Indus Creed, another great band you're talking about. Now, you are a musician, or did you actually organize these music bands together? What was your participation with the band era, the rock band era of that season?
I think one favorite instrument of mine has been guitar, which I have been carrying from my childhood, and I still can't play, to be honest. So always those strings excite music. Actually, I love music a lot, and being with musicians, listening to concerts, going to the live gigs, wherever they are, those experiences are so beautiful, where actually your mind moves away from your actual zone wherever you are and takes you into another paradigm. So
Yeah.
probably the love for music is the thing, and I'll tell you a very interesting story here, about so I wanted to learn instruments. So I was there everywhere, so I wanted to touch those instruments and play those instruments. I can play everything whatever I feel like. So but only thing that I don't have in me is rhythm. Okay.
Oh,
So there's a time I remember when Hariji I sat with, and Hariji was telling me, showing me, and I said कि हरीजी तो ये तो बीट पे नहीं बैठ रहे हैं हम. तो बोले नहीं नहीं ऐसा नहीं है बेटा, सीख जाओगे. मैंने बोला ये बट सीख सकते हैं ना. तो he said नहीं, ये आता बचपन से ही है, लेकिन कोशिश कर सकते हो आप. From that was my
yes.
last to actually
Mm,
be going on that side, of learning a music instrument, because instrument, it requires rhythm to be perfect in you. So
true.
always been a person who's been building or trying to do things. Even the Shankar's first concert was what was done by us in Bangalore that time,
Ah,
in stadium what Timex had
was it
sponsored.
was it the Breathless concert that was his first concert, or?
No. This was with Louis Banks, Louis Shiva,
Oh,
and then we had Shankar, Ranjit
the
Darat.
ensemble?
Yeah,
Ensemble.
it
Okay,
was called Timex Jazz by Night. So that's the time when Louis
correct.
introduced Shankar for the first time. This was
Oh,
96.
lovely.
Yeah. So Shankar said,
Amazing. Hmm.
so these are various flavors of. So I never was a person of doing one thing only. That's the excitement of our event industry. To be honest,
Correct.
never doing the same thing again. But what you're wanting to do, achieving that, and completing that, and finishing it, and giving it as a product, and then the claps, or then the experiences that people have and what they feel about it.
Yes, yes. It's almost like we both have traveled the same path at the same time. It's almost like time travel. When I think of what you've done, when you say Encore, I still remember we collaborated a lot with DNA. Bangalore was a happening city. Those days before even Delhi and Bombay woke up, Bangalore was rocking, and Venkat and his team, with the Pepsi Dance connection, their connection to Pepsi and the international concerts, they took the city and the country by storm. But you, Midas, you have created some iconic properties. You organized some truly iconic events. Recently, the historic Abida Parveen and Atif Aslam concert in Dubai, across the oceans. What do you consider? Now, I know you've traveled a long way and you've come to this place. What do you consider to be the key milestones in your journey with Midas? What you've done lots in different areas of impact. But what would you say if I say that? What's your number one event? And what would you just say? What is the first name that comes to your head, and why would you say that?
Mm. See, that's the problem probably I have here, that I don't have any number one like that. Like doing 3D mapping on India Gate for the first time for Volkswagen, maybe, or it's like the Abida Parveen show you're talking about. That's again,
Yes.
it's a collaborative work. Huh? All these works that happen now, happen in collaboration. So nobody should miss. I would not like to take a direct credit of a show of that sort at that magnitude, because the show was too good. So it's Deepak Chaudhary, me. Deepak is my partner.
Yes.
And that's a very interesting reason for Abida and Atif to come together. The reason being, Rahat couldn't perform.
Oh,
So
he
it
came
was
in his place, is it? Oh,
Rahat show, but then there was an issue with the government on that, and something that Rahat's issues had started or whatever. So based on those reasons, we had to combine these two things together, and then interestingly, they both met, and the way it happened was beautiful. And I
beautiful.
think packed show it was.
Hmm. Your work, Deepak, is known for innovation and creativity. How does Midas stay ahead in the race? With so many events happening and so many event managers now in the race, but Midas is a name to be reckoned with. So how do you make yourself? What are your cutting edge ideas? I know technology has been your forefront. And I still remember much earlier to the COVID, even before we realized that hybrid events and digital events are going to strike us and be part of our lives, Deepak Pawar was talking about digital events. I still remember 2018-19. You were already ahead of your time, Deepak. Was that the scientist in you, the pharmacist in you that was getting ready for the future? But how do you keep abreast? How did it happen? How did you predict the future?
So I think there's an event which we do, okay, for Unilever, which is which is Content Day. Okay, it was earlier used to call it Digital Day. Now, if you see what we do out there is Facebook to Google to everyone is a partner there. 14 partners we have, and we do this every year. Now, this event, if you look at it, showcases 2 years what's down the line. So everyone is actually prepared for what, while you are doing what you are living in now. As experience creators, we need to be thinking in advance. It means we need to be thinking what's going to be there, what technology is going to be then used, going to be more in relevance. And you, if are probably the first to introduce it, or probably the one to give, that's then a bigger experience and a better experience. So somewhere down the line, we all need to strive through and through in our lives. If we are into the experiential industry, then where is that experience? Experiences are found everywhere. So if you go to different places, you visit countries, rurals of our countries, there's so much of scope and space everywhere to see what experiences are. So it is in tourism industries, it is in various industries, you will see that. Now, this is one side of what I am thinking as a thing which can 10, 100 thoughts come, but then of which, some you can execute. There's the other side of the story, which is the corporate story, the corporate business. Now, naturally, everything requires money. सपनों पे तो कोई पैसे नहीं डाल रहा है, वो तुम्हारे ही पैसे जो burn वहां पर. You have to burn your money there. Okay, all your dreams, honestly speaking, these dreams take a lot of money of yours. Where does that money come from? From the corporate business. What is a corporate business? They trust you to have a great team. It's not about your only idea. It's the execution of that idea. Ideas they also have. Okay. So now that particular execution that we are talking about, if you have great teams, if you have a great culture in the company, if you have that, not that machine kind of an operation, and people who are passionate who come in along with you, okay, then you have great events that are happening on those sites, and those events, those corporates stick along with you for long. And that's the revenue that you generate. Then you can keep dreaming and doing these one-off things that you want.
Somewhere I heard you say that you have a 96 to 98% client recall, which means your clients have been very faithful to you and your brand. But the reason I wanted you on this show, and for all those who are listening, listen clearly, you are a digital maverick. You are a man who has brought us very close to the experiences that are real rather than real. See, all of us have done events, big, small, whatever, in different matrices. The verticals have been different, whether it's a fashion show or it's just a band show or a wedding. All of us have been there and done it. But you, Deepak, you took your niche ahead. Even now, if at all you have to look at somebody in the event industry to help us set up a 3D animation experience or a digital extravaganza, your name comes up as number one. How did you get into that seat of becoming that master?
Um, I think tech comes to you. Okay. So there are a lot of people, you don't need to go into a mobile to today see anything. You have a result which comes out. So who goes into the settings to figure out what is to be done and all that stuff? So these are basic excitements that you have of the first computer that was when came in, with those 214 kilo whatever kilobytes and small
Huge,
so from then
huge
on,
one.
the Nokia big phones and all those things we could afford to buy then because of our event. And we could
Correct.
have the pagers and we could have so tech advancement you have seen from the time of the cassette players to the airports to the all those things that development that phase you have seen. So moving from Macs to this to Windows to all those files and I have been following along with me. I think in my journey, even Sachin Talwar joined me in between from
Yes.
Wow.
Wow.
So he's another genius on particularly implementing it and putting tech in place. So
Mm.
there are people. In fact, most of our event guys, if you look at it, who are great, actually are good on to tech. So in fact, I am not so good. I'm saying there are many who are better in various forms. And this is how to use technology to create a better experience. So
Mm-mm.
I think there are many out there who are doing it and they're doing a great job on it. I think everybody is using it today. That's the you buy tickets to your everything is happening on your online today. Our interview, if you look at it, is happening. And EMA also gave me that window. If you see, when I became the secretary for EMA, that period lockdown and those I think we roughly did close to
The
200
virtual,
plus.
yes. Yes, fabulous, fabulous journeys. Yes, yes. We didn't waste time. Pulled up our pants, and that was thanks to you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
21st. Means on the lockdown, we started. And I think the best part was the entire industry got together that time. That was the way to
Yes,
get together. And artists,
yes.
I remember 15, 20 artists joining in on the same evening. Every evening we had these artists coming on board. And that taught everything, the Zoom call and how to do all that, how to do the patching.
Mm.
So somewhere down the line, if you enjoying all that, you would do it properly.
Yes, yes. You expanded your entrepreneurial ventures. I think it was Streamy Tech and Streamy Studio. Correct me if I'm wrong. These are something that you created. It is your babies. What drove this expansion? Suddenly, something like this. It's beautiful. And these platforms have changed the way corporates events are conducted. So tell us about that journey, the Streamy journey.
So I think this was lockdown, right? So if you look at
Yes.
it, I think we all larger the company, bigger the problem that was during that period.
Mm.
So I think a lot of people we kept on ourselves till June, July to say from March on that things will change. We kept paying salaries, and larger the company, I remember the amount of money, and we were all on EMA front talking to each other,
Very
and we were trying to do the best for our employees,
true.
safeguarding them, somehow managing it and moving forward. Luckily, whoever had the reserves could use the reserves. Now that is the period exactly when we were doing 200, 300 plus call this, and we
Mm.
realized that we said that's what Sachin also I told it's the corporate world which needs us more because these events are still going to happen. And how
Correct.
would they happen? Why not we do them like this? So then, and that's the time when Zoom also started. If you look at it, the similar like a phase
Mm.
itself so interesting. Then more and more technology was provided to you, better format was provided to you. Then we knew how vmix could be operated and things of those sorts. And so I think even Siddharth from Dreamcast, if you look at it, these guys, yeah, the Tag Lab guys, so these guys were also along with us on the EMA front. So a lot of learning from them, and we started Streamy Tech, so along with Sachin. And
Mm.
we could do very well for ourselves because we built a studio of ours in that period. Now, while we were doing all that, there was a gentleman called Swapnil Pawar who was on the 10th floor of my building, and my studio was there on top. So I partnered with him, and we started something called Streamy Circle. Now, Streamy
Okay.
Circle today happens to be one of the best. We are onto VFX, so a lot of movies that are there, VFX movies. So those are made by us and things of those sorts. So we're working a lot big on the VFX front because that's the future anyway.
You actually created that module. So for many of us who are not tech savvy at that time, you created that opportunity for us to use your product, and you were well ahead of your times. See, today it's become a regular thing, but sometime back it was like something different, and it made you stand apart. Every industry, Deepak, has its challenges, especially the COVID time. The pandemic taught us a lot of lessons. How did you navigate your challenges, and what strategies did you implement to ensure the continued success of your companies? By then it was companies, isn't it?
So I think, as said, the tech company which was there started taking care of us. The same employees, the same people, the same team became tech based
Mm.
team. So if they were not, we taught them or to
Yeah.
ask to do a particular job, which because that's what the business was. Then I think वो अभी need है तो सब लोग अपने आप उसमें ट्यून हो गए and then we somehow survived, and we continued, and then actually after that today also if you look at it, all your AGMs are done virtually, so pretty
Correct.
large amount of, like today, UN Nations events which we do, or BioAsia that we do. So these are ongoing events which happen virtually also still, in the sense, and there is a good amount of requirement of those kind of events also. In fact, all our
Hmm.
Modi ji events are all broadcasted, and so
Correct.
you need an organized team for to do all that. So
Mm.
that was a business module. This is करते क्या ना करते, वो करना ही था, वो ऑप्शन नहीं था. So we did that, and Midas went through from that and back to brand. So Unilever has been always a brand that has been feeding us probably, and over 25 years now. So brands like these have taken care of us, and we've been working very hard with these brands. So and we're doing a good job with
Yeah.
them.
So, I must confess that during the pandemic times, there was a crossroads. Some of us didn't know whether we were going to get back into the seat of business. Some of us were losing our patients. Some of us were losing clients. And clients started getting onto the digital media, and some of us started losing the big buck events. Actually, the clients started benefiting from having hybrid events or events that were totally digital. Because, I remember big artists like major singers who were charging us 35, 40 lakhs those days. They came down to 5 lakhs for a digital event, and it was affordable. But the feel, the real feel of the person performing was missing. Um, Deepak, there are so many significant things that have happened from that day onwards. So we are about 4, 5 years away. But how do you see, you've been there from the time the cradle of events started in India. I think you and I, when we started in 90, when people didn't know how to, put us in which category. And 92, first time Raspberry was even heard of. So like that, Midas, a story like this, you've seen almost 3 decades of growth. How have you seen the differences apart from technology? What do you see that has happened in the industry? People who have come, their attitude, how does it make you feel when you look back and see your life? How has the industry changed over the last 30 years?
Hmm. Interesting. So if you I think the industry's become more organized now. Okay, with probably more professionalism coming in here and there, learning from the international modules. See, people, what is the difference between us and international event companies? I remember an experience working with a company from Switzerland, which were 6 people. Okay, only 6 people working in the company, doing $1 billion event. Now,
Wow.
that's World Economic Forum. Okay. Now, I happened to work with Michael that period and met him and team. So they just work. They are 6 brains, and the 6 brains who the government or the system trusts. and then it's all collaborations, or basically just asking a Korean, the best team in Korea, the best team in China, doing
Yeah.
stickering, and those 20, 20 to 25 people from each of those countries come, assemble, and execute the whole event and proceed. So that is, and everything at that time when I saw the first experience I had of, how you get, through barcodes you are letting people in, and those
In
systems
yeah, those tags, electronic tags. Yes.
good confidence management using technology and things of those sorts. So things, we were unorganized sector. Reason behind it is always been, in the country where there are too many options available. Okay, there is
Mm.
no good value paid for a particular execution. So
True.
wherever there is a value, you will find a great product. Now, wherever there has been cutting corners, you will find whatever. Or because corporates, the way they operate, because there are budgets that you have to work on, and there are at times you have big monies to blow on. Like Anita Ambani's wedding, means that wedding would be is a big
Yeah.
one where they have the money to blow. So there is a client who will tell you, boss, blow. I'm ready to blow right now. But at the same
Mhm.
time, the other person, hope my screen is okay. So that change probably has come of a lot of systems that companies have set among themselves. EMA probably is the biggest support system that has gotten, because you get every year to meet all your uh, seniors or your colleagues or your this, and understand from them on how they are moving forward, or what's their way forward, how their systems are operating. And today I think everybody is online, has to be on the tech, with a system in their own company, unless and until you don't have your CRMs and ERPs and all those kind of systems set behind, you will not be able to operate, because corporates are expecting you to be uh, having a good feedback or a reporting system, because
Mm.
now work ho jayega, कर देंगे, is they want to see कहाँ है, कर क्या देंगे, मेरे को सुनना कुछ नहीं है. Nobody wants to see. They all want to see a dashboard now where things are done that way. So
Yes. Yes.
if you look at it, that's a big difference from putting
Mm.
bamboo और वो धागे से बंध के कैसे हम लोग इवेंट करते थे, क्या स्टेज होते थे हमारे, और आज के दिन में what kind of things are coming in. And similar way across the globe. In fact, with that you get to compare that India is far behind. Okay, like plug and play. We don't need to do anything when you are in UAE to do a concert of such large scale. What you need to do,
Collaborate. Mm.
cost ticket bika ke nahi bika. Everything is given to you in a platter. So
True.
you just are paying for it correctly. They're charging you correctly. That's it. And you're charging for it correctly. So it works. So I think it's a good development, but we still need to go along. And
Deepak,
government.
yeah, when we say we are event managers, I think that was what was meant to be. We are not supposed to, buy everything and have a inventory. We're supposed to manage a group of people in collaboration and present. We should be the voice, the face of the event. We are the ones who actually marketed that event to that client. So I think that is coming true now, isn't it? Now the whole experience is about collaboration. Whether it is a 3D event or it's just a corporate event or a wedding, everything is about how well you collaborate with another good vendor. This is something very beautiful. How would
Yeah.
you explain? How would you explain? Your screen has gone off, but maybe you need to get it back. I would request Blue Tick to help me with this. But it's so interesting because the road ahead
But
is
why should the
more
screen?
exciting.
I'm sorry.
I,
Why should
I'm,
the
I'm unable to see you. I don't know why. Is the audience able to see you? Can you see
no?
yourself on the
I
screen?
can't see myself.
Okay. Okay. But I think the blue tick kindly can look at this and see what is the probable reason.
Is your camera on? Is your camera icon? Can you just click once again, please?
1 second. Let me switch it off and switch it on. Let's see if it
Yes,
comes on.
yes, yes. Just switch off the camera and then switch it on.
Oh, I switched it on.
That's very strange because everything is on from this side.
For all our audience, just give us a few minutes. The technical glitch happening at the time of the great Midas experience. But it's okay. Life is like that, isn't it? We're in the company of a giant who has actually taught us the power of being present digitally and in hybrid versions of events. For all the students out there, check out the Midas website and the excellent work. Yes, you're back, sir. Mhm.
Sorry, there was a setting down. I didn't see that because I'm not used to this one. Nah? This is a good one,
Sure.
but not used to this app.
Yes.
We're all
Deepak, that's okay. In life, what matters is the hero is back on stage, so the play will go on.
there's so many.
Deepak, Deepak, there are a lot of young people who are actually watching, and before I ask you for some advice, like the grand old person of the Event Management fraternity, I have personally, I've been very inquisitive about people who really dare to go across the oceans and set up branches. Now, you have a very active Dubai branch. Right now, as I talk to you, you're in Dubai, isn't it? How is it for you to go across from India? India is emerging as a large player for events, and our intellectual properties are going across. How is it? Is it easy to set up in a foreign soil? How is it when you go across? How are you received in these countries, and how do you work in a foreign country? Many of our brothers are doing this.
Yeah, I think if there's nothing new about it, okay, this has been happening.
I think Deepak got stuck, or there's a buffering problem. Are you back? Okay.
Am I good?
Yes, you are. Always good.
Okay. So I'm saying if you look at it, events in Dubai, a lot of people, I remember years earlier also, people have been going to Dubai, setting up their shop and doing events out there. So it's not something which has been, which I like there, I have done or something there. But then came a period where after this COVID period that I got an opportunity of that sort where I was there, and then luckily Deepak Chaudhary was there, and so we partnered together to start there also in Dubai, and we got to do some very interesting concerts and a series of concerts that we have got lined up now. About forming a company in Dubai, first of all, it's like going to Delhi. Okay, for me, a Mumbai boy going to Delhi, same flight time going to Dubai. Dubai is like as welcoming. Everything is online. You just go. You need 5-6 lakh rupees. That's all to start a company there. It's the same thing that you used to say, na event manager laptop leke or ek mobile leke company start kar sakta hai. Okay, that's exactly Dubai. You can just start your company there. You don't need any partner. You don't need anything. You can just start a company there. Okay, that's no big deal about starting. Problem is you have to be there, na. You're getting into a market which has international agencies, offices.
The competition.
Okay, nobody is interested in working with you. They want the best. They have the money. The difference is probably the monies, which you get paid for what you do. So you can quote. There's a straightforward format there of 35% margin. So means you are working on good margins because everybody is working on good margins. So it's no trying to cut corners and things of those sorts. Wherein charging also, like for example, our ticketed shows, the amount that we charge here and amount that we charge there, it's a difference. And people buy tickets and a lot of Indians there. So if you see, the whole country is made of Indians only. So it's like going to India only there. It feels like that only. That's all. So starting a shop there, starting a shop in any country in the world, if you have time and you can give that kind of time to that particular place, then is only you can start. No? You can start probably in Calcutta today or wherever if you want in the country, you can operate, right? But you have to go there and operate. No? You can't be sitting
need a
here.
presence. Yes.
So like that, you have offices. Once you have the corporate, once you have the setup, once you have corporate setup there, teams there, then work will continue. That's fine. But still, larger projects, your dream projects will only happen if you're present on those projects.
Very true. Very true. Which are the big concerts that are coming up? Artist-based or band-based concerts? Would you like to talk about the future work or what is happening right now? Because Dubai calls for very good work, good quality work.
So Dubai, if you look at it, has 4 or 5 top promoters. Okay. Now, promoters in the sense, people who have been doing these events. So technically, if you look at it, Coca-Cola Arena is one venue. Abu Dhabi has your Etihad Arena as another venue. Besides that, now we have partnered with the Dubai Trade Center. So government we have partnered with. So we have like 12 odd concerts lined up now itself in this period. We have Bryan Adams coming down that you have seen now.
Wow,
So
yes.
like that, we have series. Pratik Kuhad is performing, Shreya Ghosal is performing in Doha. So we have like loads of, we have comedy nights with right from your, all the comedians are going to be there in the festival that we are doing. So these are events which are continuously planned out there, and we are non-stop executing because the ease of execution is there. Platinum List is our partner. Platinum List, or when you have Coca-Cola Arenas and Etihad Arenas are your partners, government helps you, funds you for your events. Now, some sponsorships also come from them. So they're more of also, like in India, we need to do 80-20. So in the sense, we need to be 80% dependent on sponsors. There you just need to be 20% dependent. 80% comes
Wow.
from marketing.
Oh, wow. So as long as the quality is there, people are ready to stand next to you and make sure that there's a rocking program on. I mean, this is so wonderful.
But
What is the
very
future?
interesting. Sorry, I'm cutting you off here, but I'm
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
very interesting numbers. If I tell you, Coca-Cola Arena has a list, okay, of how many people buy tickets. Okay, just guess how many are there? 30,000. Okay, from which
30,000
30,000. That's all. That's all.
for
Who buy
Indian
tickets
programs?
for Indian programs? 30,000
Wow.
may say we have to bring 15,000, and can you believe 15,000 come? Now, how does that happen?
Amazing.
Because there, Friday, Saturday, holiday, you work, you go out and entertain. You make this life is made like that, means people do spend on these entertainments. So all our shows, if you look at it, are houseful. You do good event, good artist, and you have a good show.
So you're sold out before the curtain goes up. What a wonderful feeling.
Now, whatever shows we have done, we are all sold out. Though that's also good marketing, good communication, good partners. So always amongst these 4-5 of us who are there now, we are partners of each other in some form or the other. Okay, so either the different ways are there of doing business. But I think Deepak Chaudhary, if you know the man behind these large events, so his brains were amazing, and I think I go with his brains always.
Wonderful. Wonderful. What is the future, Deepak, of the event industry? What do you see in the next 10 years? I think we're now foot on the pedal. We're really moving fast. A lot of younger people who are looking at us professionally. Sometime back, it was like, okay, it's also my hobby, so I would also like to do events. But today, they're very focused. The kids want to be there for the right, for the right causes. What is the future in the next 10 years? There is a whole generation that wants to get into experiential events in different verticals. So how do you think it's going to help us? The next 10 years, how are we going to grow?
See, if you look at India specific, okay, then India right now, if you look at it, your biggest client is your government. Okay.
Yes.
Today, and that segment, if you look at it, none of our good agencies are there. In the sense, there are good agencies, whatever we're talking about, but I'm saying the bigger agencies that they're not working with the government because the government's way of operation is different, which works on tenders and this and that whole gamut of that business is something else altogether. The day that differentiation changes, you will get some very classy stuff happening for the government also, done by intellects who know what visual senses. I have not seen a Martin or a 70 EMG guy, or even for that matter now Viscravs, doing much of government stuff, if you see. So those only the largest ones are being given out, whatever. So if you do, like we did the Mahakal corridor car launch, okay, with this. So everything was different. The way we manage things, organize things are different. So somewhere down the line, I think that professionalism, if comes in, good revenues will flow into the system. and more bigger and better quality events will happen. So that's probably a question I didn't get you again. Please just ask
I
question.
just wanted to. I wanted to ask you. See, there are many verticals. The matrix is very large. Government events, of course, 3,000 tenders were floated last year, and people are empaneled and things like that. So there are opportunities, like you were saying. But sports events, what do you see the future? There are so many events happening across. Social events will exist forever and ever. People will get married. Corporate events will exist. But what do you think is going to happen with technology-driven events? Because that is where you are very relevant. What is the future in the next 10 years for technology-driven events?
See, we are going to get more organized. Okay, things are going to be very easy today. If you look at it, all the international events, why they are so good at times, because they are technologically driven events. Means there's a seamless way of your getting a ticket to experiencing that. But technology is always a support. Okay, that will form the support system for you. Be it your using AI on to creating a presentation, marketing it further, selling it, social media, whatever. All these technologies are going to be a support system. The real experience is what is the entertainment that I provide there, and what's the experience that I give. And our industry is not dependent on that. Our industry is dependent on a genuine experience that a person feels at the event. It's be Anup Jain singing with his emotion, means where I've seen kids crying of 14 years old.
Yes.
Now that emotion, where does it come from, what it is, and how do you tickle that? Now that's more critical. There is nothing else around it which helps you to, and probably that's the only thing that is your main idea. Now, whether you achieve it through using a technology or you achieve it using no technology at all. So be it anything. The achievement is probably in our industry is not going to go down. It's going to always understand 60% of our life is entertainment. 40%
Very
we
true.
work hard to just achieve that 60% entertainment. Now, what space are you working on? Now, so much of areas are there. You need to be professional in one particular zone. You can't be saying I am good in everything. So you have to specialize. That corporate sector needs to, like, for example, if you're doing we are a corporate company, we work on the corporates, we work with corporate clients, we work with them closely, and we work day in and out, probably the same stuff in different ways. But annual events continue, so that's a business module there. What we dream and do concerts and do this is the entertainment that you provide to B2C sorts. The B2B world is a different world, B2C world is a different world. Now, like that, if you look at the wedding industry, is completely a different industry. Now, the way they operate today and how they are making, so numbers are changing and the industry's volume is increasing. People know this is the way to connect with a consumer. This is the way to connect with your business partner. A dealer needs to be taken out to give him a business. There are 10 cement companies, 100 cement companies, all provide cement. The cement, no, is same. There is no difference
Yeah.
between cement. Okay, it's only the name. Now, how do you put the
Different.
name? So so that dealer is going to be iska becho ki uska becho, kisi ka bhi bech sakta hai. So for him to be taken, entertained, a Sonu Nigam going and making an
Yes.
event for him, those are experiences that brands are wanting to create, and that's a revenue for an event company.
Spoken truly like an HLL boy. I remember HUL has a lot of these events for dealers, and they make a lot of sense in volumes.
No,
Deepak, when you started,
not anymore. Not anymore.
not anymore. When you started this interview, you said that at that time I had no choice. I would take every event and do it. So today, are you telling me you got into a niche and you are going to be in a niche? See, when people enter the industry, they don't have choice. Do they need to become specialists, or they can be generalists? What do you advise the younger generation or the older generation that want to get into events? Should they specifically get into a niche sector, or can they belong everywhere and still be relevant?
That's probably the larger the company, you will get a niche job to do. Okay, understand now, learning, it does not come from niche. That's why many people, I remember someone saying, I'm not joining Google, but I'm joining your company. Why? Because I don't want to get lost in that whole this
Yeah.
out there. Here I will get to do so many things. So, and we are a boutique company. We're not somebody, we're not a 500 people, 300 people, 400 people setup. But larger numbers across the world, you would say, yes, we would have those many people. But then it does not mean we are still a boutique company. Okay. So you get an opportunity to hear things, see things. So learning is a thing that in institutes, what they should teach you here. Probably I had been to a couple of them, 1 or 2 here and there. But earlier we had better institutes. I think the talent that needs to be now, we don't have. I think that's one space that's missing big time right now. Okay. And people coming in and actually being partners onto it and giving at least their few bits and what the experiences they have had. Just say experiences, whatever. Don't give extra gyan. Tell your what you faced in
Tell
really
them,
what.
yeah,
So
tell
I
them
think
what
that.
not to do rather than what to do. Mm.
So I think that talent pool, if becomes good, they need to know everything in the initial stage, but they will get to do. And there are 5 zones: accounts, any which way you forget it; HR, any which way everybody can do it. So these two are out. It's only the servicing and the marketing front, or the
Mm.
your creative
Production.
or
Yeah.
creative operations is again something which is a beautiful way to learn everything around. So you do get to operations right in the beginning, and most of the time that's what happens. You are on the event, you're thrown into the event, and then you have to take responsibility. And most important is to take up a responsibility and complete it. In the sense,
Yes.
whatever you're assigned, if you take that up, you need to do it to the fullest, because that's your first stepping stone, or your first, second, third, fourth, whatever. These are the even I still am trying to step one more. So I
Yes.
would be possibly learning from somewhere or someone.
The proverbial last question for you: what is your advice to people who are getting into the event space? What are the 3 takeaways that Deepak Pawar can give them with all his experience?
3 takeaways. Okay. So I'm saying, I think most important, I would say, is if you are passionate about events, first get to 1 or 2 companies, and one company get to an event. If that's, it's not money to begin with. Let's be honest out here. Okay, monies will follow always in life. Never run behind money, be it in any business. But then
Yes.
if, and in our business it's more important, because suddenly those ups and downs you will see in the initial phase, but that should not be your driving force. Your driving force should be the passion for, because every day you're doing something different. And I think uh, writing down things, making notes, will get into a habit of putting things in, means, not missing it, because that's something, because elements are too many always on an event, and
True.
you may forget them. So penning down things, and passion is one very important thing. Your everything should be put on, jotted down. Don't put it to your head, because you're bound to forget. In meetings, never go alone, always go in two. So in our industry, at least, because everything can be forgotten or changed. So, and probably minutes of meetings and things of those sorts, so putting it in all record, it's very important. I don't think so
Wonderful,
I've
Deepak.
nice 3 ones, but then the first one, two are very important. The other third one is okay.
No, everybody says everything else, but this is Deepak's version. It was so beautiful. We have some questions. The Blue Tick has 2 beautiful questions for you.
Yes, I have quite few number of questions, but one of the question of Rajat Sharma has been just been answered few minutes back, where ma'am, you already asked about the future of tech events and the event industry. That question has been answered. So Rajat, I hope your question has already been answered by Deepak sir. We'll go to next. It's Rohit Rajput's question. What are the 5 points, or any point, any number of points you would like to share um, uh, regarding your how to keep the relationship alive with clients? Because we heard that you have the highest recall of clients. So what are the 5 points that you will suggest us to have keep the relationship alive with clients?
I think there's one word only that begins. It starts with as an IPR. Okay, that's your interpersonal relationship.
Mhm.
Now, client is also one amongst you. I think today one more interesting part I would like to say out here is most of our event company guys during the pandemic moved to the client side also. Nah?
Very
So
true.
yeah. So
Yeah.
if you look at it, the what is a client? End of the day, he is also when it comes to an event, he becomes an event manager. So you
Yeah.
need
He
to
knows it
be,
all.
yeah. Now, what is he coming to you for? Because you are specializing in it. Some thoughts he is coming to you for, or maybe so. It's a brief. Is he has the brief? He's expecting you to have a thought for him. So most important is a dedicated person or a team or this for a client to feel. The face is very critical. That's IPR I'm talking about. The face which is interacting with your client. If it keeps changing every day, uh, like me and Meenakshi will connect. Now Meenakshi, after some time, be it work, no work, it's the connection which stays. So that you'll
Yeah.
need to build that connection with the client first. Now clients keep changing. Wherever they move, they will want you to be there. Besides that, then the team. Then you get the team married to the whole company. So that's how it works. I think there's no other way to do that. That's the only way to get married to a brand. And
Okay.
also past, showcasing your past. I think that today everybody knows how to do it, ways and means to do that. But always a brand specific. Say for example, it's Lux for us. So what should Lux know then is what have I done for Lux, and show him the journey. The brand manager may be new. So he's just come 2 years, but he hasn't seen what happened in way back in 2002 when Karishma Kapoor did these concerts, when Lux was done, gold coin was put into a soap,
Yeah.
and things.
So,
So there were various ideas that we had worked on those brands at that period. So it's just the journey. Try and showcase him the journey so he knows how deep rooted you are with the brand and the love for the brand. I think that's also a very big part out here. So you understand it so well from over years. That I mean, if you are just and try getting empaneled into an agency company to work with them. Don't work haphazard on whenever an event comes to you, you want to do that event because that client is also like that. You are also like that. You are also doing the similar kind of in business. That's all those couple of lakhs or thousands you want to make.
temporary.
Yeah. So that's not the way to. At least as companies, we can't afford to run like that.
All right. Right. Thank you, sir. And we have another one question from Anuradha Singh. Anuradha is asking that, you are the tech wizard and technology has been a part of your journey very strongly. Do you feel that in the coming days, with the advancement, technology is every day where things are growing and things are becoming bigger? Do you feel that in the coming days, technology will be so powerful that the physical event will slowly fade away? What is your view on that?
I think I just answered on that. There's no way. See, technology is
Yeah.
always a support system for you. Okay, so it's going to be a support and more. In fact, the entertainment you are free now because tech is doing most of your work. You're free to engage into a live concert or a live music or actually enjoy, go travel, look at places. Wherever you go, you're traveling. You're again getting yourself entertained there in that local zone in one form or the other. So end of the day you're getting more time with tech helping you out in doing things. So I think a physical form of experience is always the best. You can't be saying from sitting from here how Eiffel Tower is, oh beautiful it is beautiful. You go there, the experience is different. So it's like that. uh, I think tech will be there. See, again, there is another side of the story also, which is the tech events, which can be the content creations and which can be the. So, those we are all waiting for. Every day we want to see how a new thing would be looked at or how it can be showcased. So, using technology and today, I think AI, whatever is coming in, is all there to help you take that step faster. But it is not come for me alone. What you have as an AI as is just how to ask a right question and how much can you use it. It's the interest in using the technology for creating experiences that you can define yourself on your en route. Ask the question, in fact, to AI only, how do I do this? And it will help you there also.
Okay, so basically AI or any other technology tool, how innovatively or how creatively you're using it and putting it in front of people becomes the most important part of it. Yeah,
Right.
understood. Okay, so I will go to the last question. It's that, okay, that's very interesting question by Mr. Anantram. Do you face any payment delays or payment defaults for the government event also? Because that's a known scenario in the government sector that, people, when companies comes, they always hesitate to enter the government event scenario sector because of the payment issues and the kind of an red tape and the kind of complexities. How is the scenario right now in the government event sector?
That's not changed much. So it's the same, still the same. But I think we're getting more organized there with GST in place and other, billing formats coming in place. But see, it's like this, that you do an event and somebody doesn't. Most of the times, I'll tell you what the problem happens. Okay, with I'm being very straightforward here. When you do a government event, there will be some minister who will be coming in and saying, "ये भी लगा दो, वो भी लगा दो, वो भी लगा दो." वो last minute उसने जो भी बोला है, वो तुम लगाओ, उसको कुछ नहीं मिलने वाला, बिकॉज उसका ना तो बिल है ना कुछ. So now that is the problem which everybody has faced. If you look at it, be it anyone that we talk about recently who's lost hundreds of crores, the problems have been that there is no documentation. Any documentation, government is the best paymaster. You will never have a problem on payments with government. It's the problem of you going overboard with somebody being very interactive and you saying, मैं कर दूंगा. Now, I've done this many a times and I know, boss, your excitements don't work out here. Going overboard just because someone is saying हो जाएगा बाद में, वो कुछ नहीं होता है बाद में. You have to be very correct on. And I think payments are very good with government. Payments are good overall in India now. Earlier it was to be 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. With the new norms that have come in of 45 days, you have to be paid. I think most of the corporates are aligning to it. There is no company I have seen. If you are an MSME, then it works the best. And we are all MSMEs. So you should get your registration certificate. You'll get your payment anyway, be it government or be it corporate. You'll get it in 45 days. You have to bill for sure. You need to get a purchase order. You need to be having all those formats and systems in place.
Right. The documentation is very important at the end of the day in order to run smoothly and get the payments or all the formalities released in the right way. Right.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Meenakshi ji, you can please continue.
Thank you so much, Uzu. We've come to the end of this talk. We can go on and on, Deepak, because, the road ahead is so wonderful and beautiful and so promising. Whether, it was the anamorphic wall or a touch trigger or a 360-degree experience, Deepak has taught us all this. And Deepak and his friends, the entire tribe of technically qualified mavericks, have taught us that life is, in the fast zone now. We've had 10 excellent mavericks over the last 10 episodes. It's a great pleasure that I could finish the season with you, Deepak. I've always gunned for you, and you've been a very humble person, but I know that behind that countenance, there's a lot of hard work, there's a lot of promise, there's a lot of excellence. And I salute you and your tribe as a brother of the industry. I wish you all the best. I know that, the road is just opening up for you and for all those mavericks along with all of us who are running that race. This time we run holding hands, isn't it? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you just met the man with the Midas touch, the man who has made waves, who has always been a helpful person in the industry. A man who was given a different perspective of technology-driven events. A man who walks the path simply because he knows behind him there is a world of experience, enterprise, and education. Thank you so much for being with us. And for all those who deemed it fit to be at the live session, here is a special thank you for Meenamma. I've been in the event industry for the last 35 years, 32 years as a razzmatazz, and I know how difficult it is and how exciting it is. It is like having an affair with yourself. Go, date yourself, be an event manager. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Meenakshi. Thank you, audience.